My name's Daisy Gray.
My name's Matt Thomas.
I am constantly inspired by
Get to know your consumer before you do anything.
Welcome back to PNG's Meet the Leaders. I'm Katie Mills, and once again, I'm getting the chance to find out a little more about some of our senior leaders of our Northern Europe business. Previously on Meet the Leaders,
anyone can come to P&G, and P&G give the room for people from whatever background the opportunity and space to be successful.
The most important thing I've learned over my career is to continue to learn.
To be my authentic self.
We don't give people projects, we give them real jobs from day one.
So, join me once again as I welcome a new host of leaders with their own pearls of wisdom from their long and varied careers at P&G. So, let's meet my first guest today.
My name's Vincent Barnes. I'm the global Tesco team leader at Procter & Gamble. My pronouns are he, him, and I've got blue eyes and sort of greying hair in my mid-40s. I've been with P&G 24 years.
Tell me about yourself. What do you like to do when you're not in the office?
So outside of the office, we've got two young children, a 7 and a 3-year-old. So they keep myself and my wife very busy. And then aside from that, my wife and I really like live music and rugby. So we spend quite a lot of time planning to see live music across the course of the year. And if we can fit that in, 5-6 times a year, then we're pretty happy.
So what brought you to P&G?
Well, I started through an internship. P&G were very active on our campus at my university. Did an internship, and what I found when I came to P&G was the work was challenging, and the people around were supportive. And I think there's that second bit, the culture at P&G was the bit that really hooked me. And so when the job offer came at the end of the internship, then I snapped it up.
You've had a long and successful career at P&G so far. What keeps you here?
So I think that the longer I spend at P&G, the more I come to realise that anyone can succeed here from whatever their background. And for me, what I found, it's like playing your favourite sport day in, day out. It's fun, it's challenging, and with the right coaches, you get better every day, every week. And that's a pretty awesome place to be for your working career.
I'm sure you'd agree there's not really a typical day at P&G. Can you tell me about what you've been up to this week?
Yeah, 100%. There's no real typical week at P&G, but let me tell you the things that I enjoy doing and how I structure my week. And there are 3 or 4 different areas. So first of all, I work with one of our largest European customers. And so whenever I spend time with them, I find new ideas come up, new ways of growing our business together. So I get a load of energy from that. Secondly, the office dynamic that we work in works really well for me. We're bouncing ideas off each other around the team, coming up with creative new ways of developing the business. So that's the second area. Thirdly, often in a week, there'll be moments where I'm coaching or training either one-on-one or larger groups of the organization. And that, again, gives me tremendously energy. And then the final area for me personally is I love it when I get space in the week and I build space into the week to really think about given business problems or challenges in a really deep way and work through a particular problem. And so if each week I'm spending time on those areas, then that's a great week.
Having a growth mindset is critical. How would you define it, and what do you do to keep yourself in this mindset?
Yeah, in terms of growth mindset, for me, there are 2 principles that I hold really true. The first one is if you're pushing yourself to the limit on a given area, then you will fail. Failure will happen. It's a natural part of process and getting better at things. And so if you can get your mindset around that failure is part of the process and if you're pushing yourself enough, you will bump up against that, then that's the first principle I would hold true in terms of growth mindset. And then the second one, which is probably even more central in my view, is this concept that, ability is learned. Nobody joins P&G being a master at creative problem solving or business acumen. You learn that through the work and experience and coaching you gain at Procter & Gamble. And that's a tremendous leveler because it means that whatever your background of experience, you can join P&G and through hard work and focusing on learning and development, you can become exceptional in your given work area.
Where do you turn for inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to get inspiration from lots of different sources. So it could be from colleagues or listening to a podcast or reading newspapers or the customer or consumers. I mean, a whole variety of different areas. But for me personally, also, what what really works is letting an idea percolate or a problem percolate in my mind. And so sometimes if I'm doing something that distracts me, like exercise or cooking or going for a walk, that's when the best ideas come to me. So it's a broad variety of inputs really that in the end you sort of eventually hone in on an idea.
What do you think is the most important thing you've learned over your career?
The most important thing I've learned in my career is the importance of the right culture. That's what drew me, first of all, to P&G, and where I've been part of teams where the culture's been nurtured. It's a supportive environment, but people have autonomy to act with creativity and ambition and take risks. And knowing they're going to get the support from their management, that culture, if you can generate that and maintain it, then it fuels itself in terms of business success.
P&G has been around for over 185 years. What do you think is the secret to the longevity?
I think the secret to P&G's longevity is probably threefold. First of all, the culture it creates, and within that, I would also put the purpose and values that the company holds true. So, ensuring that we're always doing the right thing. Secondly, the talent that we uh, recruit and then develop, and then finally the brands. And you put those three together, and they all underpin each other really. And then I think that's what keeps the company going.
If you weren't working for P&G, what would be your dream job?
Probably running a beach bar with epic seafood and live music.
What piece of advice would you give your younger self starting out in your career?
The biggest advice I would give to my younger self is probably worry less and take more risks. When you start your career, there's a lot of pressure around, um, uh, you know, uh, imposter syndrome. Am I good enough, etc., etc. And trying to convey that to my younger self around just go for it, and know that you've got the support structure to take more risks, and through doing that, you'll learn quicker and you'll get better results.
So you're the lead sponsor for our gender equality pillar. What made you take this role?
Yeah, I'm delighted to be sponsoring the gender equality role at P&G. What I love about this is I think become a real strength of Procter and Gamble's, and particularly in the UK organisation. But there are still big areas for us to focus on. Firstly, we've got more progress to do on women representation within the STEM careers within our organisation. And then secondly, I think we can do a better job of really inspiring women in our industry, and I think P&G's got a crucial role to play in doing that. Given numerically we're doing well on representation.
Can you share how you are moving the strategy forward?
Yeah, so there's two things we've put in place on how we move the gender equality strategy forward so far. The first one is we started recruiting people who are passionate about this area, like change agents within the organization who have ideas and sense of urgency around what they want to do differently. And those individuals are helping us form the strategy. And then the second bit is we've started a series of focus groups with the organisation so that we can really listen first before we work out what's the 1, 2, 3 big ideas we want to leap on and make happen in the next 12 to 18 months.
Allies are important. What role do you think they play?
Yeah, so for me, the role of an ally is to somebody who steps up, stands by your side, and speaks out. And the hardest one of those is the speaking out and trying to create a culture in P&G where people, say if they see things that aren't right, but also build their confidence to do that outside of PNG so we can have an impact on the wider community. And these things crop up, could be a stray comment on LinkedIn that you notice and you respond to, or it could be something you see within your group of friends, or it could be something else somewhere else. And if we can be that change agent outside of PNG as well as in, then I think that's how we demonstrate allyship.
Thank you for watching this episode. To watch the full series, go to pg.co.uk. Or to find out more about careers at PNG, visit pgcareers.com.